Hey guys, welcome to Connor's College Football Predictions. I'm Connor. Last week was a little bit of a hectic week in college football. Lots of upsets. I went 3-2 after coming off a 5-0 week. So the two games I lost were Oklahoma State against Arizona, where I picked Oklahoma State, but they ended up losing by 21 points. So not too good there. But next game was Nebraska against UCLA, where UCLA came up on top. It's a great game. But looking back at it, it was my fault. It was my fault, guys. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have picked a top 15 team over a team that hasn't had a regular season over 500 year since 2006. So it's my fault. I'm sorry. But let's get started with this week's picks. First, we have Alabama against Arkansas. Now, Arkansas, I don't know if you saw this, but they lost 34-31 in overtime against Louisiana Monroe. At home, that just pops up in my head all the time. And if you're Arkansas, you better be scared. You lose to Louisiana Monroe. Now you have Alabama coming in, who has the 5th best defense in the nation, and they also have a pretty good offense. I mean, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty. I mean, especially if Arkansas is down in the dumps after that loss, and that wasn't a fluke. Louisiana Monroe, they took it to them. So it's just not gonna. It just doesn't look good for Arkansas. I have to go with Alabama in this one. Next, we have Notre Dame against Michigan State. Now, Notre Dame, I have to give them credit. They did have a very good win over Purdue last week. Purdue, they don't get enough credit. They are a good football team in the Big Ten, and so Notre Dame, they did have a good game, but Le'Veon Bell from Michigan State, he is averaging 140 yards on the ground per game in the first few games of the season. And I mean, not only that, but he can also catch, and then he can run with those passes. He's a great leader for this team on the offense. And also Andrew Maxwell, their new quarterback, who's filling in for Kirk Cousins since Kirk Cousins left for the NFL last year. He's been doing pretty well. I mean, he has thrown 3 interceptions and only 2 touchdowns. But, if he can cut down those interceptions and finally get the touchdowns on top of the interceptions in the end, I think that he can be a good fit for this Michigan State offense. And I have to pick Michigan State in this one. And they also have home field advantage. And those fans can get really loud. So I'm picking Michigan State over this one. Now we have our big game of the week, which is USC playing Stanford. Now, this is a USC team who got kicked out of the #1 spot by Alabama after week 1 when Alabama completely dominated Michigan. I mean, they're hungry. USC, they're used to being in the spotlight. I mean, the whole Lane Kiffin thing, voting his team #1. There was the whole thing with Silas Red. I mean, and then they were ranked #1. They were getting tons of publicity. They're just that kind of team. And now Alabama is getting lots of publicity up in the #1 spot. They want that #1 spot back. I know it. I think that everybody knows it. And they have Matt Barkley, who is going to be a runner. He's going to be in the running for the Heisman. He's a great quarterback. Excellent leader for not just the offense, the whole team. And then you also have Marquise Lee, who's one of his favorite targets. He's just so electrifying on the field. I think that he can run all over the Stanford defense. I think that USC wins this game. Now it's time for the night train lock of the week. And I'm going with Florida over Tennessee. Florida, they beat Texas A&M last week. It was a great win for them. And, you know, they're going to come in, and I think that they're going to come out with fire, and they're just going to knock this Tennessee crowd out of the game. And Tennessee fans, like, it's never been, like, really loud in that stadium. I mean, it would be so easy to knock those fans out of the game, and then they're just out of it the rest of the game. Florida controls this game if they do that, and I think that Florida is going to come in with lots of fire if they win this game. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Later.